Because Mike actually tenses up and gets scared when I'm about to talk about my house. Because he wants me to keep a happy home.
Exactly, man. I want you to stay married, bro.
Absolutely. But content over everything, right?
Don't come to these streets.
Mike wants 1,000 listeners.
1,000 downloads.
Yeah.
Yeah, like y'all got to download. Y'all see, just the thing, if y'all don't listen to 80% of the pod, we do not get credit for your listen. So we need y'all to actually download it and play it and listen to it. Absolutely.
So me and my wife was having this conversation yesterday, and it was with me and her sister. Me, her, and her sister, and we was talking about like the people you attract and when it's not the people you want. And I was telling her, I said, you know what's interesting? Two things are interesting to me. It's a lot of women out here that complain about men, but they also tell you that they don't want men. True. I find that very interesting, to say the least, right? Every time I hear a woman say, hey, these men get on my nerves, these men ain't this, these men ain't that, I always ask them, like, do you really want a man? And you know what's funny? Shout out to my homegirl. I'm about to expose you, so I ain't going to do nothing crazy. She the homie, though. But me and her was talking, and she said, Gavin, if you were single, would you date me? And I looked at her, and I said, no.
Uh-oh.
And I said,
uh-oh.
And her mouth dropped. Because she pretty. She got a good job. She got money. You know what I'm saying? She fine. Like, right? Uh-oh. But I looked at her, bro, and I said, nah. And she cool to hang with. I told her, I said, you too young. And mind you, she like 27, 26. So she not like that young, being that I'm 33. I said, but right now in your life, you matter the most. Like,
I don't think, but does that ever change?
I think it do sometimes. Like when I was 20, well, let me put it like this. When I was 21, bro, I only thought about me. Like I thought about me, my future, my job, all that stuff. And I'm not mad at the youngins worrying about that, right?
No, I agree.
Because especially when you we could use your brother, for instance. I remember when he graduated college, bro, he hit the ground running, working.
Yeah.
And I thought that was dope because I watched a lot of the people like myself and the boys who I was around up here, they didn't hit the groundwork running. So I'm not, even though he was selfless and he's a selfless person, but I'm never, for me, and this is out of my lens of seeing her, I see her as like, you being kind of selfish. I said, but it's cool. You young, you matter the most. She was like, yeah. I said, well, me as a 33-year-old man, that's hard for me to like, yo, do I want to compete with that? Do I want to allow you to go be great and do what you want to do? Or do I want to slow you down because we got to create something? And I said, for that, I can't. Now, I also, that's one thing. I always notice that some people complain about the opposite sex and they don't even want relationships, right? The other thing I notice is a lot of people attract, how do I say this plainly? I was explaining to them how somebody we know attracts broken things.
Yeah.
And sometimes in attracting broken people and broken things, you mislabel it as I love to help. And sometimes that's hard. It's hard to be that person in a relationship where like, yo, I get broken things. I work all the time. I love to help people out. And you know what I'm saying? I love to, just because my heart is so big. And then next, you wake up and then you keep getting used and people don't appreciate you and all that stuff.
Yeah. So to that point, I think a lot of individuals, I think that's a comfortable place for a lot of people, right? That place of being used. Like when we talk about the ideal of simping, y'all have tried to change the definition.
Facts.
To, is when a guy is nice to a woman. It's not what it is, right?
Facts.
A simp is actually when someone is being used. And we need simps, right? Like, I mean, when we talk bad about simps, I mean, they have to exist. Right?
Absolutely.
We're not mad at them.
How else would y'all know the difference?
Yeah.
Because
but,
like we tell you.
This abuse that he's receiving, right? Like, he can withstand it, right? Mm-hmm. If she was with a dude that wasn't a simp, a dude that was a quality dude, that was focused, that was driven, and she was doing those same things, she would actually destroy that man.
Facts.
So it's not so, but when she get with somebody that wants the broken thing and wants that constant trying to repair it, right? A kintsugi of sorts, that's actually okay. Like, I get people that do it, but the people that annoy me are the people that complain about it, right?
Facts.
If you want to be used and somebody use you, don't be like, will you use me? Well,
you got me.
Yeah, you signed up for it.
Absolutely. So I guess that was funny when we had that conversation yesterday. I was just like, yo, what type of men are you attracting? What type of women are you attracting? Do you ever look and say, yo,
am I the problem?
Am I the problem? I remember having a conversation with a young lady years ago, and I said, give me the characteristics of the man you want. She gave it to me. I said, all right, what type of woman do you think he wants? Do you and that person line up?
Of course not.
And it's tough because as a man, you got to ask yourself that too,
Yes.
right? Like, hey, the girl I want, is she a 10? Do she like to party all the time? Do she got a coke habit? I don't know, right? Do I got the finances to support all of this? I don't know. You got to ask yourself that. But look, one thing I do got to say, I love the internet. I love Facebook. I love that Instagram is charging y'all $15 a month for a blue check. I won't even do that to y'all today. I love how Instagram wrote us on the Black Dads Club and asked us, do we want our blue check?
We didn't respond to that.
We
shit.
did not. We hit
We
the
didn't
X.
we didn't even hit each other up.
Nah.
Like,
I was like, bro, what the fuck?
I'm not paying for a blue
Instagram,
check.
I will be gladly to give you $15 a month if you send this to 1,000 people and get us 1,000.
Exactly.
That's what we'll pay you
Yes.
$15 for. But I love the internet and how they are spinning and presenting us Angela White, not the porn star. I want to make that clear. Angela White, there's a porn star named that, and then there's also Angela White, aka Blac Chyna, who is also an ex-porn star. But we ain't got to talk about it. Well, we kind of do need to talk about it.
Yeah, we
She's
should.
saved.
We should. She is saved.
She is saved, baptized, sanctified. Don't know if she got the Holy Ghost. Oh, here go Mike.
Saved.
Look,
Come on down, Angela.
come to the altar.
Come on down, Angela.
We want to welcome you to the altar.
Let's welcome our sister,
Hand clap for our sister.
Angela.
Look, Blac Chyna is now saved. All has been forgiven.
Or
And-
has it been?
So has it? I mean,
You know, this is a good question for the fellas, man, because I think we often have to deal with this, and we really, as men, we
Often? no, the hell we don't. No, we don't.
Wait. We don't have to deal with, later in life where, someone says that was when I was younger, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay, every man crosses the path where you meet a young lady and she got her pass.
she got a pass.
She got her whole facts.
Yeah, she got a badge facts, right?
Yeah.
So what is the time frame that a man should check the badge facts and be like, okay, all these things have fell off?
All right. I believe your wholeness gets deleted at the age of 18, 21, 25, 30, and then again at 40. I've stuck with that. Like, yo,
I'm not mad at that rule. I want to know what most guys' rules are. Like, how far back do you go before you be like, all right, I'm gonna forgive that?
I remember, shout out to my cousin Dominique. I'm gonna be giving everybody personal government information on here. But I remember one time I was telling him about another listener of our podcast and about I'm like, yo, she kind of getting around. And he was like, bro, they ain't got nothing to do with you. And he was like, it's all gonna get deleted at an age anyway. Now, steer clear to that woman. I got out of Dodge because she wasn't done yet. She was actually just getting started.
And that's what I was gonna ask. Was she done?
No, she was
not done. So, like, how can we trust when a woman comes in and she's like, all right, yo, I'm saved. My past, that's gone. Like, how do you trust that? So what's funny is when we was doing this pod, I was talking to a young lady. A young lady that I like.
Okay,
and I was
okay, hold on.
Yeah, I mean,
Might be trying to skirt past that.
like, dude, I'm always talking to somebody that I like, right? Dude,
My man.
I'm not a bum, man. I'm like,
My man.
Grad school educated. I'm
That is true.
intelligent. Like, I'm a good dad.
That is true. That is true.
Ladies love the bald head.
They
Like,
do.
I'm good out here in these streets.
You are.
So anyway,
It's good for our pod.
So I'm going. I'm like, hey, I said we about to record a pod about Blac Chyna, now
Facts.
Angela White. And I was like, hey, before I go on this pod and say something to make myself look stupid, in case me and you end up, in a long-term relationship,
Facts.
I was like, how slutty is your past, basically, right?
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
Me and her talk like that, right? I was
Yeah.
like, yo, if there's something I need to know, tell me now.
Tell me now.
And I was like, shit, I just won't even do the pod.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to do this topic. I can choose another topic, right? If I really like you. So we laughed about that or whatever. Then she was just like, oh, no, it's not that bad. And like, she was just like, she basically was like, you want to talk about it? I was like, all right, sure, let's talk about it, right?
Okay.
So, we popping through the names and whatever.
Okay.
Because she's divorced.
Okay.
And, and I'm like, because I like her, I believe her. And then, I get off the phone. And then, I'm working on the pod. I'm working on the outline. And I'm going over what she told me. And I was like, this motherfucker left something out. Right?
See.
So I call her back and I was just like, yo. I was like, we were just talking about this. And she was just like, yeah, we were just talking about this. I was like, yeah, you kind of left something out. And she was just like, nah, I ain't leave anything out. I was like, so what about X, Y, Z or whatever, right? And she was just like, oh, damn. See, I wouldn't count that one. That didn't count.
Oh, because she didn't come. Girls don't count bodies where they don't come. I realized that.
So I'm like, what the fuck you mean it doesn't count?
If they don't come, they don't count, dog.
It counts.
No, it don't. Not to them.
I'm like, if we sit at a bar, if I'm sitting next to this dude and you walk in.
And he like, yo, I kissed your girl in the mouth.
Yeah,
I went down on her.
That shit count. And then, at first she couldn't get it, right?
Yeah.
And then, she came around with it. Because I was going to let her come around on her own because one thing that I do not tolerate is like any kind of, like I said, I need cogency in my relationships, right?
Okay.
I need transparency. So I do not tolerate, any type of like, yo, I'm intentionally misleading or omitting shit.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say it's like, right, we had that conversation. But for most guys, we're not having that conversation. 1. 2, have we even asked ourselves like, yo, how far after the baptism, how soon is too soon to jump into a serious relationship with Angela?
God said all sins are washed away.
I ain't God.
That is fair. Because technically she could be a first lady next week.
She could, but again though, all right.
Bruh.
So we talked about
imagine you Tyrion and Blac Chyna right across from you.
Dude, she do look way better.
She do.
She was always a pretty girl.
She was always pretty.
So like, yo, I like this Angela. But this Angela still has 2 baby daddies and 2 kids that she see 3 days total out of the week.
And her porn is still online.
Yeah, like
all right, so here's the problem. I think we have to understand, I learned this early on in business, right?
Yes.
And I learned this about my life probably sooner than I did in business, but I learned it. It's levels to this, right? There's levels to life when people make better decisions early on.
Yes.
And I know that's so simple, but the majority misses that.
Yes. I missed that. I was not a good decision maker.
So the shorty that's down the street who hold from 18 to 30. Yeah, a lot of her stuff gonna get deleted because at 18, 19, I'm just making up numbers, Blac Chyna was making porn.
Yes.
She was on her OnlyFans. Amber Rose was on her OnlyFans. Now that your son is older, you gotta live. You can't go complain. I know it sounds jacked up, but this is reality. Y'all gotta stop obsessing with these celebrities and thinking that they $1 million lifestyle applies to yours.
Yes.
Yo, if you go do OnlyFans and you popping it for a reel and I'm giving you $5 a month, yes, somebody might come to your son in 10 years and say, yo, look at the clip my dad paid for.
Yeah.
And then y'all got to have a discussion.
Yes.
And he got to live with that and you got to pay for that therapy. So I don't know about Blac Chyna. Now, me personally, this is all jokes with us because we really don't care about Blac Chyna, her choices.
No, we really don't. It's a good example, though, of a woman saying that she's saved and she's different.
Yeah.
And
do you just forget
as a man,
about
are you obligated to say, okay, I am going, not I'm going to disrespect you.
Yeah.
But I can still be apprehensive of you. Because I know that's where a lot of women are going to take, like, oh, y'all slut shaming. No, we're not slut shaming.
Yeah, really.
Right? Like if you actually like sluts.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, if you are saying like, yo, this is me now, accept me as this individual.
Facts.
How soon does a man have to believe that, right? Because we started the conversation with the girl that was like, she had changed, and you was like, she was just starting, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, here we go again with someone that's saying like, yo, I've changed it. Like, yo, has she? Because the track record is OnlyFans. It is, celebrity, baby daddies. It is not having your kids, right? Like, it's all these things.
Absolutely.
Right? It's trying to hit your baby daddies up for money. It's all these things, right? What makes me different?
And I will say this, and maybe this don't supposed to go on air. It ain't gonna get bleeped out. I don't believe her.
And see, and I'm not there. But see, that's the thing. It's like I'm trying to believe her.
Well, I'm not, because too many people have come before Blac Chyna and did this whole thing. We can do it. You remember this? Mace is a great example, right?
Yeah.
Tyrese was a great example. They had Tyrese at the gospel celebration. And I think Tyrese realized like, oh, shoot, I can't make no money.
Can't make no money over here.
And because y'all believe that Blac Chyna make $250 million every year on OnlyFans.
She did not make that much on OnlyFans.
I don't know. And I was arguing with a chick that on this weekend. I said, yo, can you do me a solid? Can you show me one instance where Blac Chyna said she made that?
The only person that has verified how much money they made on OnlyFans have been Bad Barbie.
Yeah.
Like she's the only one that has shown receipts.
Yeah.
And OnlyFans said that she was what? Didn't they say that she was the highest earning?
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, that means everybody else makes less than whatever she made.
And the thing is, the girl was like, I'm gonna find Blac Chyna saying it. She's never said she made $250 million.
No.
Like there's a reason.
That was an AI generated clip that hit the internet from a blog.
And y'all fell for it.
It just got picked up by everybody.
So with that being said,
but
I don't believe this shit either.
Okay, so
she still got it in her.
I'm with you there. You got some things just in you.
Yeah, you become a pro. What you supposed to do? Michael Jordan can still dunk.
So here's the thing: how much time would have to go that as a man we'd say, all right, I now believe you. And I know this is gonna be different from every man, but this is the perspective of two college educated black men. So like, let's see what our average is,
bruh. I'm saying 2 years. She got to keep a clean record.
Okay, and I was going to say a year and a half.
Yeah. It's around there. Because then after that, I'm going to be like, yo, you probably have changed. Now,
so ladies, 18 months.
18 months.
18 months of continual change.
Yes.
And then men will say, all right, I want to trust you.
When you become an addict and you doing crack, how long do we say you're not a crackhead no more? Judge Mathis, he hold it against your head over 10 years.
Yeah, well, in Narcotics Anonymous or whatever they call it, that they say they're addict forever. Like if you ever like they say like if you ever do like heroin, like you're never over heroin. Like every day you're a recovering addict.
That's tough. Well, we ain't gonna do that to you, Blac Chyna. We giving you 18 months of sobriety.
18 months of
coochie sobriety, you be good to go. And hey, look, and to be fair, you only got 2 bodies on your record that we know about. And that dude that was a different chick who head on something.
So we didn't ask about bodies. We're not talking about bodies.
Yeah.
We're talking about behaviors, and then someone saying that they change, right?
Yeah.
So because the women will try to change that.
Oh yeah.
Real quick.
I only said that to say I don't necessarily label her, because I know y'all gonna hear this and try to say we slut shaming. I don't label her as that because I only know of her to mess with 2 people.
Yeah, I don't think she's a slut. And evidently her porn is boring because I've never seen it.
Yeah, so I just saw the intro.
I mean, she's not even on my side of Reddit.
Nah, this was way before OnlyFans. Like Tiger tried to make his own porn site, and they was on there getting it popping. I was just like, I'm not.
She's not on my side of Reddit. I'm not even interested.
Absolutely,
so it's just regular porn.
Yo, I want to welcome everybody to the Black Dads Club. We are excited that you are here.
Yeah,
I am sorry about last week. I was on something that I can't even tell y'all I did, but I was working, and I'm finally back. And we are here. This is episode 89.
11 more episodes
to 100.
And we got live show, episode 100 will be a live show. It will be in Charlotte. We do not know yet. And we got the Father's Day coming up.
Yes.
That will probably be, what episode would that be? Father's Day is what? June.
We should count it out.
June,
it might be.
What is
June 12th? It's like the second, third week in June.
June 12th. So that gives us April, May.
That actually might be
100th episode.
Fire. If we can make that pop. But yes, please, and shout out to Alpha Male Nail Care. She definitely hit me up. She's a listener, and she was like, she only services men, right? And she was telling, she was saying on the pod, she texted me about the pod, and she was like, yo, I want to talk to you about your Father's Day event because I definitely want to be a part of that. And I told her I will find out a way. So shout out to Chyna. She is amazing. Please go see her. If you
might have to find a larger venue, man. Like we might, this might actually be a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna do it. Dad tip of the week. Excuse me. I don't have one. I will say this though. Yesterday I did a family day shoot with my son. Me, my wife, and my son went out to do pictures. Please, 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 please. Bring somebody to make your kid laugh, make sure they ate, make sure they've been changed, and have that person stand behind the photographer and play peekaboo. I promise you it'll be over in 25 minutes. That is for real. I went to Designs by JK. He is an amazing photographer here in Charlotte. He killed it. It was
legend in Charlotte.
Absolutely. He been shooting since we was in college.
Yeah. For real.
Absolutely. And he killed it. And I was like, I didn't know what to expect because, Ro was throwing a little fit. We at that fit age now. He about 18, 19 months. So he throw fits, man. I was scared, but JK killed it, man. I appreciate him. But yeah, that's the dad tip of the week. Bring an assistant, put him behind the photographer. All right. This is where the podcast starts. We promise we're going to make up for last week. We will not serious this pod out unless we have to, even though the first half of it was serious. Congrats to LSU. But before we get there, I love South Carolina. South Carolina has out of the two Carolinas, it has the worst basketball players.
You're crazy.
We proved that North Carolina got better basketball players than y'all.
That's never been proven.
Yes, it has.
Dude, y'all claim Jordan. Jordan isn't from North Carolina.
We claim Jordan and Steph.
Steph is from North Carolina, not Jordan.
I mean, if Jordan ain't from North Carolina, Steph ain't either.
Well, y'all don't have either then.
No, we got both.
Sorry.
We got Dominique Wilkins. We got James Worthy. We got hoopers.
Y'all got some.
Y'all claim Ray Allen. He only went to high school there.
We got Ray.
He don't count. See,
we got KG. We got KG.
He do count. He act like a South Carolina dude. But this is not about the South
Alice
Carolina.
English. We got some balls.
I thought he was from Charlotte.
Yeah, you might be.
I mean, he on North Carolina. Anyway, the point is this: my South Carolina ball of hate does not apply to the USC women's basketball team. They can hoop. However, we do have somebody who is proudly from South Carolina, and you got to tell us what happened, man.
Man.
Blame it on the refs. Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna blame it on them. No, South Carolina couldn't shoot. Like their shooting was terrible. And then Caitlin waved us off. I was just like, that
y'all let that white girl come and cook y'all.
Yeah, she cooked.
She did cook.
I cannot deny that girl could play. And you know what? But I'm glad though, because this is what it needed. Like I was on the phone with B earlier, and I forgot what we was talking about, but we was talking about the whole Anheuser-Busch thing where they doing they got the guy from TikTok. Or excuse me, the woman from TikTok. See, I did it by accident. Didn't even mean it at harm.
See?
That promoting their beer or whatever. And we were just talking about the idea that like, controversy sells.
Facts.
Right? So we was kind of arguing about that, and I said, Baraka, I said, did you watch any of the women's Final Four last year? And he was like, God damn it, you got me.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was the drama this year that actually made everybody tune in, but I actually think it's a little bit deeper than that though. Right? I think it's racial.
What's that? What's racial?
Like the reason why everybody tuned in.
Oh,
it was the white versus black per usual. And look, I'm not even mad at this because at the end of the day, who the hell would the Duke Blue Devils be if they did not beat UNLV?
Yeah.
Like
okay.
who would they be? No one gave a damn about Duke during the 80s.
Nah.
Right? Matter of fact, them beating UNLV meant so much to them in 1991 that we forget that they got whopped by 35 the year prior.
Yeah. Well, so I think the drama got everybody to tune in. However, women's college basketball has always, if you love basketball, it's actually a good product to watch. Better than the WNBA.
Sometimes it's a good product at the top. At the bottom, it is.
Well, that's college sports.
Garbage.
College sports is ass.
Yeah, college sports is. But I mean, you can watch two terrible football teams, and it actually end up being a good game.
Good game, yes, that is fair. But in college basketball, it's like only like 10 teams is good. The rest of y'all submit. But the drama was there, and then if you didn't think the drama was there before, it definitely was there after the championship game.
After the championship, man. I hated that, but I hated it because it just reminds me that I'm always right about the racial state of America, right? Like everybody like to pretend that we all get along, and then what happens after the game, right? You have grown ass 50-plus-year-old white men calling our girl Angel an idiot, classless, right? I mean, these are Keith Olbermann is not a small name, and he's supposedly a friend. Right? Dave Portnoy, not as much. Not really expecting a lot from him. But Keith Olbermann? Like, to call her like a classless idiot, like that was kind of disappointing to see. And it just shows you how ingrained the racial identity is in this country, right? Like people keep telling you like, oh, get over slavery and, you're always a victim. Yeah. And it's like, no.
You weren't a slave. I love that.
Y'all are into this shit way more than what we are, because at the end dude, I saw a South Carolina blog after Iowa beat us say that they were pulling for Iowa. It's like, what the no,
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing.
And then you know what? Because at first I didn't see it. I didn't see it until y'all put it in the group. Something wrong with my algorithm. Like, for real. I'm not even making that up anymore. And I didn't see it. And then I saw her interview. And you could tell, you know, one thing I'm going to give to her. Yo, she kept her emotions in check, but she was emotional, and I felt what she was saying. She was like, yo, all year y'all been saying this about me. And I didn't fit y'all mold, and you calling me ghetto and hood and all this and that. And, yo, this for the girls who look like me. And I felt that because I was like, damn, I could feel what sis was saying. Then I started seeing all the comments. And then, of course, if you ever doubt racism in this country, play Call of Duty or get on Twitter. Like, either or. Whatever one you want to do, you will see it there, especially on Call of Duty. And so I'm seeing it, bro. It's the truth, dog.
That is the truth.
And
I'm laughing so hard.
And then I see it, and then we got Jill Biden who was like, "Oh yeah, I want to invite the losers."
I'm gonna invite the losers to the White House.
And then it's like, yo, what?
Every time we try to forget about the 1980s, the Bidens just show up and say,
"Did you see the video when this nigga was talking about ice cream?"
like,
Bro, there's a video of Joe Biden like looking at ice, like he was supposed to talk about the school shooting.
yeah.
And he was talking about how he got chocolate chip ice cream in his refrigerator upstairs. And they were just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
He is definitely Grandpa Joe. But no, like, no.
But the Jill Biden thing, it was that is a hey. And Shannon Sharp said this morning right before I was listening to this right before you came in. He was like, you inviting people that look like you even though they lost.
Even though they lost.
And because like he said, if LSU had lost, Jill Biden's not getting on there saying, yo, we want LSU to come up
and
here.
And again, that's continually the problem. That's constantly the problem. You know, and again, like this weekend is like, I mean, I'm still going through it to kind of process like what's going on racially, what's going on because like even between black men and black women, right? Like black men are running to like Angel's support, right?
Yeah.
And we're kind of getting a stiff arm from the ladies even still.
Yeah, they want to handle this.
Yeah, so it's like
I'll let them.
It's like, yo, have we not grown any in this country, right? Like the fact. Here's the thing, right? Caitlyn is a hooper. She's a baller.
She can hoop.
All right, but Caitlyn is not a beautiful blonde woman, right? She ain't Megan Fox.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Even
now,
though she ain't blonde, but yeah.
Here's the problem, right? If she was Megan, if this is how y'all act,
yeah,
for the Reggie.
Yeah.
How the hell do you think they would act for a bombshell?
Yeah.
Right? And this becomes the nefarious nature of supremacy that we always try to call out. This is why we really be like, yo, when we call out something and you're like, yo, it's benign, you really looking into it way too deeply. Are we though? When we have 50-year-old men, white men, that are willing to call Angel out of her name, right? For no other reason, then they just watch the game to somebody they don't know.
Yeah.
But they related so deeply to it that it was a visceral reaction.
Yeah. Facts.
Like
it is. And then we got our boys over here. Where's the clip at? With Gillie and Walo.
Man.
If you don't know, Gillie and Walo is signed to Barstool. Barstool is a big deal. They host a lot of podcasts on there. And those brothers, hold on. We gotta play this clip. One day we're gonna get this audio right. Not today though.
Piece of shit because of basketball. You're wrong about that shit.
And we love you, Dave.
We fuck with you, Dave.
But we fuck with you the long way.
You're totally out of pocket for that. You're wrong for that. For a human being to be a classic piece of shit for sports where it's nothing but trash talking and talk, we're not doing that. We're not gonna do that.
And so that was their response to Dave Portnoy, or I might be mispronouncing his name.
Yeah, fuck it.
And so Dave's the one that called Angel a classic piece of shit. And it's like they coming on and they're like, yo, we're not supporting that because we're your network, yada yada yada. But is that the response that they would have gave us if we had said something about them?
No. Let me put it like this. Every time something goes down, if you ever work for a big brand and what we call crisis management, every time something goes down, you always look around at your team and say, who is the best person to be our spokesperson?
Yeah.
For instance, and I'm going to give you something. When I worked at Marriott and that whole thing happened with the black tax during CIAA, right? I remember being in the job and they were looking for the right black person to be our spokesperson. And that's just real shit, right? Yeah. A lot of times, if you don't have that right person prepared, you go ahead and you just let lawyers be lawyers, which is what we ended up having to do after we did some low level. Here's our black, apologist, whatever. When Ryan Cooper got in trouble for saying the N-word, who was the black apologist? Michael Vick.
Yep.
When Michael Vick was doing, he was, and remember Michael Vick even said, "What's the coach? Used to coach the Colts, black guy."
Tony Dungy?
Tony Dungy. Remember, he was the one who asked Michael Vick, "Yo, you got to do this because the good old boys got you back in here." You know what I'm saying? Like, they always do that. They have every major organization has that black person in there. So, this situation is interesting because Gillie and Walo, they from the hood.
Yeah.
Gillie has some ties to Louisiana when he was working around Cash Money, so I understand. And you do get that thing where, like, yo, your coworker is saying this. Now, do you remember when what was that? Big dude, black dude who was signed to Fox, who was Whitlock.
Jason Whitlock.
Remember when Whitlock was going on? I was looking for Shannon to say one word. My man said nothing. And that's the difference between this and that. And I always wondered why they never sent out a black apologist when a black person is acting a fool.
No. And
I know that has zero to do with what we're talking about, but that bothered me. When you played that for me earlier, I was like, damn, I remember when Whitlock was going around doing crazy stuff and all the black people on Fox just act like
he didn't exist, right? Act like he didn't exist. And here's the thing. I like $1 Million per game. Those dudes are my bros though, but I definitely know we would have went way harder, right? If they were going against Joe Budden, right? They wouldn't have said, we got love for you, Joe.
Yeah.
We fuck with you the long way. Like, no, y'all wouldn't have done that.
It was one line in there that you said bothered you the most.
Yeah, we got love for you.
And that
because
line,
Portnoy has no love for us.
Facts.
Because if he did, he wouldn't have went at a kid. Angel Reese is what, 19?
19, 20.
Right? Like, you wouldn't have went after a teenager if you had love for her, especially not for some mid.
Yeah.
You would
Can't
not
say
have
that
done
about
that.
people, Mike.
I know because again, here's the truth though, right? Is that this fragility that they have is dangerous.
It is.
Right?
No, that's facts.
Like, we can if they'll do that to the women, right? Mm-hmm. How do you think they'll respond to the men?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, facts.
This is how Emmett Till happens. I know y'all like, oh, that is a leap. No, a crying person telling a story and people acting viscerally afterwards is not a leap.
And then her line about it.
Yeah, like this is what happens. So like, no. And I hope the young lady, I hope Caitlyn makes it to the WNBA.
Yeah,
I hope she keep that fiery competitive attitude, right?
Yeah,
that
she
spunk,
can't hoop though.
Right? That spunk that she has, right?
Well, it ain't got nothing to do with her. She is a killer.
Yeah, she's a killer.
And she do got a little swag to her.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, right? When we see black women have that, it comes off differently, and that's programming. I give another good example of that. Opening day of baseball, when I watch Meg Thee Stallion walk out to the base to throw the baseball, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this, and it's like sexy to me. And I'm like, damn, Meg, like super tight tights. Don't look good though, right? And then when I watched San Diego Padres have opening day, they had like a gymnast come out, right? Guess what she had on?
What?
Same thing that Meg had on, right?
Okay.
Not only she had the same thing that Meg had on, she does a flip of super split and drops it to the ground, bounces, and throws the baseball, right? So her shit, in theory, is way worse than Meg, right? But way more people complain about Meg. No one mentions this young lady. And I'm like, yo, like, even I will look at something, even though it's being brought to me by the algorithm and Twitter, right?
Yeah.
That chick wasn't brought to me. The only reason I saw that is because I play daily fantasy baseball. Yeah. Right? And I'm going to teams' pages. And whereas Meg Thee Stallion is placed in front of me to offer a critique.
Well, yeah. And it is all programming because I remember me and Rena, we went to go see, who was that? It was the Warriors versus the Hornets. And me and this black man were going back and forth, yelling at each other the entire game. And Karina said, please stop, please stop, please stop. Because people was looking, right?
Yeah.
Soon as game over, bruh come up and give me a hug. And we started laughing and talking. And Karina was like laughing about it because she knew, but like, she was like, yo, were you not afraid? I was like, nah, because I know. She was saying, are you, not about him, but about people looking at us. And I said, nah. I said, as a black man, I know what trash talking is and we're having fun.
Yes.
I said, only reason why he clowning me is I'm from Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I'm rooting for KD, who's from DC, who plays in Oakland.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And we're having that conversation, right? And I said, I get it. And I said, the people that's uncomfortable is because of the programming that they've been told that when you see two black men yelling at each other, that automatically something's violent, something's about to happen, not knowing that trash talking happens all the time. Me and you get on here and argue with each other, and we text each other once everything is done. And we don't even talk about what the hell we talked about on air. So, it is what it is. We gotta, let me play this because this is hilarious as shit. Hold on. Let me get my girl, man. Hold on. Where my video at?
When you have
rather be a mom before I be a wife.
Really? That is very interesting.
I just rather cater to a child than
a
husband. And when you're a wife,
you don't need to get
no, but when you just think when you're a wife, you're a mom. You still have to find time to be yourself, and I'd rather just find time to be a mom and just be myself as of right now.
Okay.
And
well, I get it.
I'm gonna tell you this thing is gonna happen.
It's just I'd rather be a mom.
All right, that's the.
And that was weak by old dude too. I get it.
That's my comment on the actual video.
Yeah.
Bruh, men, I'm going to serious this out before I get to my joke. We got to stop doing that. Yeah. Stop okaying shitty behavior, whether it's from the same sex or opposite sex. You got to start holding people accountable. Telling her, hey, bro, I get it, and I know the video cut off, so maybe you said I get it, but hey, sis, you are wrong, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you did that, but bruh, your team put out this clip, and y'all thought it was cool because you content over everything.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm going over the content over everything. You got to stop doing that because when these women get older, they look back at all the men who didn't hold them accountable and who was shitty to them and was playing with their emotions, and you get to be in that lineup because you said, yo, I get it. Now, to the jokes. This is my weekly example of women to avoid getting pregnant, dating, or marrying.
Absolutely.
I was going to post the other chick on Jonathan Majors, and I might do that at the end, but this is the one that we got to talk about. Shorty said she'd rather be a mom
than a wife.
What
is so bad about being a wife? Like, where did this come from that being a wife is the worst thing in the world?
I'm going to say it, and don't jump on me for it because I don't feel this way. I think people look at being a wife is duties you got to do. Now say what you got to say because I know what you want to say.
Yeah, there's duties and responsibilities that you have as a wife. Abso-fucking-lutely, right?
Okay. I thought you was going somewhere else with it.
No. I mean,
because I thought what you was going to say is what you think having a kid got to do with it. I don't think people think about that.
No, but so here's the thing, right? So to your point, right? If you don't want to do duties as a wife, I have my doubts that you're going to want to do duties as a mom.
Facts.
Like, because you do have responsibilities as a parent.
And you can go to jail over those.
Yeah, well, I mean, hell, even if you don't go to jail, you can raise a shitty kid, right? Like, look at Blac Chyna's mom.
Oh, God.
Right?
All has been forgiven. She is baptized.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? When I used to hear about Blac Chyna or Angela White, when I used to hear about Angela, I used to be like, damn, like, she is a shitty individual. Like, what the fuck? She's way too attractive to be so shitty, right? But then you meet her mom and you're just like, now I want to give her a hug because she never had a shot.
You never. Some people you do look at and you go, yo, you never had a shot.
You never had a shot. Like Blac Chyna never. Like, I'm impressed by Blac Chyna now.
Absolutely, she worth $10 million. That's not supposed to happen when you get that mom.
Yeah, when you have that mom and I see what she like. Now I'm actually impressed, and it's the same way when I see women make the comments of like, yo, I don't want to be, a wife, right? But you want to be a mother. We already know that this puts your child at a tremendous disadvantage of not having two parents in the household. 1, 2, kids are a 2-parent job. Kids are like moving a huge fucking couch.
Absolutely.
You can't do it by yourself.
And it's funny because, like I told you, I listened to Joe Budden. They had the conversation at the end. Like, I wonder if you talk to single moms, would they prefer to continue what they do now, or do they want help? Now, the joke for me is this. This always comes from women who don't have kids. This logic. This logic of I'd rather be a mom versus a wife, or be a wife with a child. Like, that.
I think it's kids. I think they see kids as an accessory.
They do. It's like the new bag.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, children are not
and they
accessories.
only want their kid until they like 6. After that, it's, yo, you got to get out. Go stay with your dad. Because now you talking back.
Oh,
now,
in the teenage years, kids definitely get sit with their dad. Between the ages of 8 to 11, you got to buy clothes like twice a year.
Yeah.
Stuff I have bought my son at the beginning of the school year, man, he putting his clothes on. I'm like, I gotta change his outfit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, 2 inches? Where the hell them 2 inches done came
Bruh.
from in the past 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
They eat you out of house and home.
Yeah, my son out-eat me.
Man, and they, look, outside of emotional support, kids don't do anything except cost you money.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they do. Like, they give good hugs.
Yeah, they
you
do.
love their laughs and smiles.
Yeah.
But they don't contribute to anything
Bruh,
in your household.
Last week, I was changing my boy diaper. You know, now he tells me when he's pooped.
Yeah.
So he goes, yo, boo-boo. He didn't say yo, but he said boo-boo. He pulling on his diaper, right? Cool. Lay my man's down. I didn't tie up the diaper. You know, my man just grabbed the diaper, just threw it in the air. So now he got shit on his chest. And he thinking it's funny. And, you know, it is funny at that moment. Having a kid is fun at that moment.
Yeah.
I'm laughing just like how Mike was doing. And I'm telling him, I'm like, bruh, now I feel like I smell it every day, right? Now, the drawback of it, that night at 3 a.m, he wanted to, you know, kick his feet on the wall.
Yeah.
That's not the fun part.
That's not the fun part.
Because daddy got to work the next day.
Yeah.
So, like, I do see this. And
So imagine being a tired parent and that's happening.
Bro, and so.
By yourself.
My joke is, shout out to all the people who I lost before we moved over about 2 years ago when we had this whole wedlock, you know, don't have kids out of wedlock. But it was all motherfuckers from people who didn't have kids who had a problem with it. And that's the other joke. And I don't know why we keep asking people, we keep putting mics in the wrong people's faces.
Well, cause see, this is the thing. Everybody want to do what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
And when you have kids, you don't get to do what you want to do, right? You got to do what's best for your child, for the situation. When we have women that speak like this, like this young lady, it's like, yo, I want to be a First off, if you're not getting artificial insemination, you are asking for help because it's not like y'all having these kids and y'all like, yeah, I don't need your support. I don't need you to come see the kid. I don't need you to do anything, right? Eva is leaving her husband, right? Mm-hmm. And he came down there and adopted her and Kevin McCall's kid. Yeah. Right? Because Kevin was like, yeah, I ain't fucking with you or the kid, right? Which makes him a piece of shit. Like, let's not get it twisted. Yeah. You know, but, you know, you go meet another dude and you ready for him to come in and be that child's dad.
Well, we know how that goes.
Yo, avoid women like this at all freaking
costs.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. Y'all gonna hate this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Here we go.
If you date a woman and her child's father is not in her life or in that child's life, it's a red flag. Run.
Oh yeah, we've been said that.
Run.
You need to ask why.
Run.
You need to figure out why.
Run. That dude's not around. Run.
Yeah, you got to do some research. Yeah, and figure out. You might find out he dead. And it could have just been something completely different. We ain't talking about those. Stop giving us the 10% to represent the whole thing.
10% to 2%.
Look, you know, we always like to go back in our pods and say something, and people don't like to listen. Now,
you know, that's what we should do. On Saturdays, we should play our pods and then like all sit around in Zoom and then talk on a Google Live. Yeah,
absolutely.
Hold on. Stop moving in with.
We did this last week.
If you're not ready to be responsible,
this has nothing to do with what we're really talking about. I'm trying to get to us a certain point, but with reels we can't scoot over. Hold on, here go Mike saying something important.
Now they'll move in with their girl, especially
because they're trying to save money.
Oh, that's me.
Trying to save money. You got in-home ass.
In-home ass is key to having a healthy relationship.
You're taking on. You are now responsible for.
This is still not the part I need y'all to hear.
Yo, I'm responsible for your daughter.
Here go Mike. Here go Mike.
And if you're not ready for that responsibility,
Preach, Mike.
Then you don't need to be doing it.
And stop. And here's the thing: when you settle down, man, like cut out this running in the street shit, bro.
Facts.
Just cut it out, man.
Take your ass home,
there is nothing wrong with being faithful to your woman.
Absolutely. Mike said something that was super interesting there, and I just played it. And it's about being faithful. Then we got this. Hold on.
This is why y'all should listen to the pod, because even though y'all think we talk shit, we talk.
That's engaging.
We're trying to help you.
And fidelity, which leads to
these hoes can't get caught.
Which leads to this conversation: can men be monogamous for a long period of time?
What's a long period of time?
Over 10, over 15. Like, what does that really look like? Is that really possible? I don't know any man in my life that has been monogamous or faithful for over 15 plus years.
So how did you make it out, Doc? What's the secret?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm 10 years in. I'm like, will this be my
remember I said, like, African American men, make sure you go to African American male therapists?
Yes, it's not a lot of them, though.
I stand by that point. Find one.
What's wrong with him? He's African.
He's not African American. He's not African American because he has a myopic viewpoint, right?
That is true.
So you do have to understand that. So anytime you do statistics, we've talked about this before, right? When you plotting on the line, the X and the Y line, right? You're gonna draw a line through, right? That's your mean, right? Everything that falls way outside of that is an outlier, and you throw outliers out. Now, back to the conversation of can men be monogamous? Now, y'all heard my clip when I was just like, yo, fellas, there's nothing wrong with being monogamous. I think one of the things sometimes why we think being faithful is so hard is because as men, we think that all men are cheating, right? And I can't be the only man out here that's not fucking around, right? Now, not saying, I'm not going to say that, don't cheat. If you have cheated, you're the worst person. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying,
you're the worst.
What I am saying is that it is possible, right? Make sure, one, you end up with a person that you really want to be with.
Facts.
Two, keep yourself out of situations that's going to cause you to cheat.
That's why I don't do certain shoots now.
Right? Certain shoots, certain places, certain apps, certain websites. Like, there's a lot of places to stay away from. Mm-hmm. Majority, that'll keep you away from cheating. Like, and here's the thing about monogamy, because I've been monogamous before.
That he has. I can't agree or disagree, so I'm taking my man's word for it.
You gotta take my word for it. But I've been monogamous before. It's like, if you keep yourself out of situations where you really can't get in trouble, that even if you're the woman that you with, if you're sick and tired of her ass, you bored, she's getting on your fucking nerves, right? Like, your biological need to have intimacy will bring you back to that person. And guess what? You're gonna be nice at least for a period enough to, have a kid.
8 minutes. That's all you're getting out of me.
Or have sex or have intimacy, right? And that might be the spark to bring your relationship back. Whereas if you own these websites or if you own these apps or you meeting up with these women, you don't go home with the ideal of like, yo, I need to be nice to her. Cheating is a bad habit and it's a hard habit to break. Now, with that said,
and it's expensive.
With that being said, I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
What?
Some men are not made for one woman.
Yeah.
All right. And y'all men that are not made for one woman and you can't do that, or your plate is just way too full, you do have to be honest, man, and let these women know up front, and select women that won't say they're okay with it just because they want to be with you, but women that are okay with it because they want that type life. Right? The same way that there's dudes out here that will marry a Blac Chyna and a Kim Kardashian, right? Like, those men exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out to Kanye. Didn't work out, buddy.
There's women that exist like that too, and you need to make sure that you're pairing up with the right person. But I do want us to understand that, cheating can't be, in our 30s and 40s and 50s, man, fucking around, it ain't cool. It's not the cool thing to do. Look, in your teens and your 20s, I got all the women, right? Mm-hmm. But when you get older, man, women like men that say no, right?
Yeah.
So if a woman know you have a woman and then she's after you, sometimes that pursuit, every time you walk in a cigar bar and she coming on there being super nice because she know that you not going to ask for a number, it's going to give you better service, it's going to give you a better experience, and it's going to make you feel good. And you're going to be horny and go home and hit your woman right.
Until it don't happen.
Yeah.
At the cigar bar and she ignore your ass and she let you sit in the corner by yourself. But I say it like this. Sometimes I look at it and I wonder if men, you gave it, you stepped on my point, but what are the other options? I think sometimes dudes look at it like that because it is dudes out there, right, who is married or in a committed relationship, and it's like, bruh, I'm not getting no ass. I'm not doing this, and I have these needs.
If you're in a committed relationship and you're not getting no ass, man, get out of that relationship. Now, if you are married, sorry. But in situations like that, though, right? Like, if a man is in a genuine situation whereas he's not getting his needs met,
yeah,
I don't really consider that cheating.
Oh,
Take
the pot to the next level.
I really, really don't, right? Because look, if somebody was starving and they walked in the grocery store and they started eating grapes, would you really look at that person and be like,
"You stealing?
You stealing?"
They are technically stealing.
Technically, they are stealing, but you know what? They don't really have a choice. So, if anybody not getting their intimate needs met, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see that as cheating. I ain't saying it's right. I'm just saying I can't judge it.
Well, it's not right because it's cheating.
I'm just saying I can't judge it.
Well, yeah, so
I'm not excusing the behavior. What I'm saying is that I understand how it happens.
Well, I understand all cheaters. I ain't gonna say, and when I say I do, I don't agree with it, and I'm have every right to think you're a clown as soon as you done, as soon as I find out. But for me, because I can't say, yo, I've ever been in that situation, right? Like, to the man that has the great girl at home who just so happened his secretary just throw it on him one day. Do I look at him and I don't judge him? I just look at it and be like, yo, you a bozo. Now you get sued. Now you got fired. Now you out of a job. You got to deal with what comes with
exactly,
that.
Right?
So I don't have the time.
Like old boy with TJ Holmes and the chick from the Good Morning Show.
Oh yeah.
Right, I mean, we talked about that. We called it clownish.
Yeah, it's clownish.
But I don't know. Like I said, but if he wasn't getting anything, I mean, I'm not saying he was or wasn't, but if he wasn't getting anything that he needed at home, and he sees this woman every day at work, and they every day at work 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely.
You know, like they
taking trips.
It can happen. I get how it can happen.
And I think that's a better way of me putting it. If you're going to allow pussy to cost you everything, dog, then I don't have the time to look at you and say, yo, you're an idiot. You will find out quick enough that you're the idiot. Now, I will put it like this. I think some dudes look at it and be like, yo, is being monogamous, is it impossible? No, I think some dudes, as men, we don't do enough talking, right? Yeah. So when did I remember you was talking about, like, when you was going through your situation, you was telling somebody around you whatever you was going through, and they was like, oh yeah, I went through that, and you remember you said on the pod, you was like, I got upset because I thought I was just the only one to ever shit. So sometimes as a young man, you growing up, you getting married, and you do get married, and then when shit gets dark and you about to dip out, you can't recount to, yo, you know what, I actually talked to this uncle, my dad, my brother, my cousin who's also married, and they was like, yo man, you gotta stop staying out to 3 a.m. thinking that everything's gonna be good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't go to the hole in the wall strip club.
Yeah, you can't go there.
You can't go there
because they're gonna have you in the back looking like Lil Meech and BMF
exactly with
your shit out.
Exactly.
So, and it is that, one thing I do, everybody knows I'm a photographer. Certain shoots I don't do anymore. And if I do, I don't do them with certain people. So I used to do lingerie shoots all the time, right? A lot. Yo, getting the fine bird who from the block, who used to be an ex-dancer, who don't mind paying other ways than cash, I can't shoot her. You know what I'm saying? I can't, right?
You can't.
But to the mom who is doing this as a gift to her husband, who is doing, let's say she's not married, she wants to do it for herself, who has a good corporate job, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting paid in cash, something tangible I can use with. She's not into that. Yeah. It's not putting yourself in situations.
Not putting yourself in those situations, man. So and I don't think we really and again, the only reason I brought it up because I don't think, like, when I watched that clip, and here's the thing, this is a renowned quote unquote relationship counselor, and he's pretty much telling all women that men can't be faithful beyond 10, 15 years. Right? And I got a problem with that because there's a ton of men that only got eyes for their wife.
Facts.
And we just throwing all those men, we just throwing them all out with the bathwater, right? Like,
absolutely.
No, like you can't just throw this out there, man. You can't have women, because part of the problem as men that we have with women is because, especially if you was a player, right? You have a hard time believing that a woman telling you the truth. Facts. Because you done been in the background so many times when her man done called. You know what I'm saying? You done left. You done known that. I got to leave her apartment before this time, right? Like you've done so much that when you get out here and you start dating, your view of what a woman can do to you has jaded you. Where you like, yo, I don't trust no women, right?
Hey, once again, here's a content clip that was sponsored by pissing off black women or engaging with black women or bashing black men. But y'all gonna figure that out. I love how y'all keep tagging me in those clips too.
Yeah. So no,
say I was right.
So as men, I want men to know, like, yo, monogamy is possible, right? I can't say how long you can or can't go, or if you make a mistake that you're gonna continually make a mistake. And two, like, cheating doesn't not have to be the cool thing. Like, quote unquote getting bitches, right? Like that. Yeah. It comes to a point in your life where you should outgrow that.
Has cheating ever been? I don't think cheating has ever been this. Not going what you're saying, but I don't think cheating has ever been labeled as like cool either.
Well, but see, I don't think cheating has been labeled as cool, but the idea of having a lot of women and having your old lady has been cool, right? Which basically you're cheating.
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying? Because you got your old lady, right, and then you got all your women, and that has been a cool thing. And and I can't say that's not a life I haven't lived, but I will also say that once I got older. And you realize, like, yo, like, not only are you hurting your old lady, but you're also hurting all these women that you're out here just running through, right? Because, dude, I ain't gonna tell that story.
Do it involve me?
No, it doesn't involve you, but it does involve a period of my life. And like, the moment I stopped doing a lot of BS, dude. Like I saw like 3 chicks get married, bro, and I was just like,
damn,
was that me?
Yeah,
I was holding y'all back.
Yeah,
my bad.
Yeah, shout out to all the ladies that grow after you. Haven't had that happen to me because all my ex bitches is doing bad.
You gotta stop calling them bitches, man.
I do. I was talking to this chick this last week, and I was like, "Yo, I was about to call y'all bitches," and she just looked at me and started laughing. I think a lot of women just don't care about me saying it because.
It's pretty much a male pod, and
Absolutely.
I will
Shout
say,
out to
man,
y'all.
I listen to the ladies pods, man. They be going in.
Oh,
bro.
they call us
they
all
be
types
going
of sorry ass niggas.
In, bro. I'm like, yo, I don't get to do like half of what they be getting.
Hell no, they get to call us gay ass niggas when they get mad at what we're saying, and then it's just like, yo. If I ever got to say that about black men, they will cancel me.
We couldn't even say that. We about to come up on a clip about y'all black men and these flowers.
Oh,
and we can't even say that.
But before we get there, I got to get this off. Hold on. Where my man's at? Oh, I got.
Whenever we start mentioning masculinity and femininity, it starts to put a divide in the two, right? But essentially, as a human being, you have both.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? This is why I try to teach men all the time. You have both, and there's nothing wrong with tapping into one or the other, depending on the situation, right? Look at the cover with A$AP Rocky. In that situation, I guess you can say he's tapping into his femininity because he's being nurturing, he has a child, that kind of thing.
I'll be real quick on this. All right.
What you got to say?
Hey, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's always a lack of masculinity. That's the biggest thing I want everybody on this pod to know, right? Men should never seek to be feminine at all. Men should always seek to be more masculine. Masculinity is care, grace, and mercy. All right, those are the 3 tenets of masculinity. I don't know what the hell is going on in the podcasting space, especially with black men,
especially black podcasts.
With with just bring in femininity and bring in flowers, right? There's no situation where I look at a woman and I say, you know what she probably could have did that would have made the situation better?
Being more of a man.
If she would have been if she would have been more masculine.
Yo, sis, you got a man to fuck up.
I don't know what the hell is going on in this space. And these are pods that I like.
Mike, you know what's going on. I told you. It's 2 things you got to do to go viral. I'm going to keep saying this every episode.
Bruh.
So here's the thing. Men do not have time. We don't have time to pod, but we make time.
Yes.
Right? We don't have time to listen to pods unless we really care about them.
Yeah.
And we make time for that. You don't have time to go sit down and comment on Instagram unless you make time,
yes.
right? Okay, so cool. You create these podcasts and you get these men to come on, and women know 2 things because it's the female podcasters that keep doing this bullshit. Yes. And I'm sorry, black women, I gotta call y'all out on it and hold you accountable. You get black men to sit down because black men are not finna come to your podcast and defend themselves.
No.
And you gotta pander. We're going to call it pander, and you got to engage with black women's emotions. So you get black men to come on to help give y'all content for y'all sons that y'all raising by yourselves, and you telling them
y'all are killing us, man.
Bro, y'all killing us.
You do not tell men to be more feminine. Like
Bro.
we would never tell women that is the solution to that problem.
Because you know what I want to do? Got to tighten up this turtleneck. I'm the only nigga that wear turtleneck on 80-degree weather because they told us it was going to be raining and cold. Let me tell you something. I would love to ask my mans, what was feminine about A$AP Rocky caring for his child and being up there with his soon-to-be wife? And
we talked about that. We actually said
nothing.
The problem with that was nothing. It was the intent of the forced perspective by Vogue, right? And here's the thing, right? We know that these companies have an agenda because didn't Esquire put out the cover with the 4 guys on it and was like dresses are something for the summer?
Yeah, they trying to get that.
Yeah, so we know what the agenda is this year, right? And then what 3 of the 4 guys on the cover is black. It's not even a black magazine.
And then they AI LeBron into a dress and made that to like a fake magazine cover. Yeah. The problem is nobody comes out and say, "Yo, this is fake." They want to enrage.
They want, yeah, exactly.
So
they want to enrage you. They want the engagement.
Here's my thing. I keep listening to the same bullshit. And it's on the same boring ass pods, and y'all got the same 3D wall. You got the same lighting, hence the lighting behind us. I know the formula all the time, right? And then you keep coming up, and we keep doing this. And the problem is, we gotta stop associating certain gender roles, which is bullshit in itself, because y'all don't like gender roles. Let's keep that.
Yeah, they don't like gender roles. We don't like gender roles. But
so stop associating them with either being masculine or feminine, because taking care of your child isn't masculine or feminine. So I would let dudes like tap into your feminine thing. What is your feminine roles that men possess?
There are no men. Our job is to be masculine.
Yeah,
that is our job. Like, look, even like if you want to go to the ideal of yin and yang, right? They're actually separate, right? They come together to make one, right? Which is the ideal of a man and a woman coming together to make one, right? My duality as a man is a fire, right? I can be all consuming and destructive, but I can also provide heat, boil water, cook food, right?
Yeah.
That's the duality of man. I don't know where y'all getting this from. To y'all brothers that believe that, yo, this is gonna be a hard pod to take. I don't know.
They ain't listening because they on that bullshit over there.
Yeah,
but that's not true.
But I don't understand this ideal of it's this continuous emasculation of black men, right? Because I see it on a lot of the white male pods too. But the intent for black men is more because black men are seen as an alpha athlete, and at the end of the day in this world, even though money matters, that the athletics is what pushes everything.
Facts.
That's what holds society together. And it's like, yo, if we could take the supreme athlete on this planet and emasculate it to the point of subjugation to where we can rule it without chains, that makes us the greatest ruler. And this is why I always tell us is that we have to become thinking men. We have the fight is too much. The fight is going to cost us too much. But we got to become thinking men. And we got to be able, like when I see that Esquire cover and it's like, yeah, you know, dresses are in style now. And I'm like they don't even wear dresses in the UK and they're right next to Scotland.
Yeah.
Right? And even in Scotland, like, yo, they wear kilts, but it's ceremonial, right? Chances are you're not going to go to a match in Scotland, a soccer match in Scotland, and there's going to be the overwhelming majority of men in skirts. Now, I'm not saying if you're a man in a skirt, whatever. I honestly do not care. But the truth of the matter is you would be a statistical outlier. When you're outside of the norm in society, you're an outlier, right? So you're going to have to accept and embrace what comes with that. But this ideal that, like, yo, all of us should be less masculine. Less masculine is the reason why we have the crime rates that we have in inner cities. Because if these boys was more masculine, they'd be more forgiving. If they was more masculine, they'd rather have a fist fight and be able to lord over a man every time they see him physically, right? Mm-hmm. It's the reason why we love rematches and boxing so much, right? Yeah. It's because, you know, it's good to see a motherfucker win the first time. Yeah. But if he win the second time, you kind of like, he owns you.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
It get tough on the dude who lost twice.
Yeah.
And just to put a button on it, dog, it really does piss me off when I keep having this conversation, and it's the same. Sorry to those who are listening, and this is gonna be fucked up. It's the same type niggas that keep having these conversations.
It really is.
And it be pissing me off. And it goes to...
I be wanting to put in the comment section, like, what's your relationship with your father?
I want to put in the conversation, have you ever been on this podcast? Because they would love to have your black ass on. Because they love to... They cater to this, too. Yeah, it's like it's a certain type of group of men. And as a man, I haven't figured out the label on it, but it's a certain kind of you dudes who keep having these bullshit conversations just because you want to invite women into men's spaces and y'all can all... pander to single moms.
I'm trying not to call them hyper-masculine men, but you know that's what hyper-masculinity was. It was the ideal of men that roll out the tropes or the caricatures of what masculine men is because they don't really know what masculinity is.
Yeah, and so they come on and like I said, I would love to sit down with that brother and be like, yo, so what was the feminine thing? Please name me these feminine gender roles so you can realize how stupid you sound. Because when you get on here, bruh, and you say, well, I see a feminine role if you kiss your kid, you sound like an idiot.
Yeah, no,
right?
yeah.
You sound like an idiot if you say, hey, you caring for your kid.
Because guess what we're doing? We're assigning gender roles.
Absolutely.
At that point.
And that ain't cool no more.
That ain't cool no more, right? But if kissing your child, if that's feminine, and that's never been feminine.
It's not. So I'm going to start asking y'all to define these gender roles that we are not allowed to do in 2023. I'm going to start using this shit to my advantage. Now, the last thing, me and Mike probably going to disagree because I love these conversations. Hold on.
I have never bought a man flowers before. Like, I just haven't. I don't know. Now listen, there are a lot of things that I'm going to do for a man. Yes, I'm going to make his plate, serve his plate, all that. I'm a very much a nurture, cater type woman, but buy him flowers? I just don't know about that.
Don't buy me flowers.
I just think.
Do not buy me flowers. Why would you buy me flowers?
Why not?
What am I going to do with flowers? Look, okay.
Same thing that the women do with it. Let them shits die in a week. Ain't no difference.
I'd rather food. Look, I want PS5, Apple Watches, AirPod Maxes. All right, that's all I want. That's the only thing I want you to buy me. I do not want flowers. All right?
What's wrong with getting you flowers?
Because I don't want flowers.
Okay.
I literally.
So you're just saying you don't want flowers. It's a preference thing.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not even saying it's an emasculation, right? Like I'm not even saying like.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, like if you buy me flowers, I feel like a girl. Like no, right? But men, this is not something that men want. Matter of fact, I know exactly what it is, man. It's the spirit of Cain in y'all.
What?
The spirit of Cain, right? Cain and Abel.
Some men
right?
do like flowers.
Cain kept trying to bring what he wanted to bring. Not what was required.
That is true.
As men, we keep telling y'all the things that we want,
and
y'all
men.
are coming to us and saying like, "Oh, you want?" Look, the men that want flowers, buy flowers for those men, right?
Cool.
But this does not have to be a thing, right?
It could be. Hold on. See that you putting what you don't want and what you want onto a large group of men. It's a lot of groups.
You think the majority of men want flowers?
Do they want it or do they mind it? That's two different things.
I'm talking. And look,
I don't never get my wife.
I'm not talking about a seed flower or a flower and a potted flower. I'm talking about a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah, I don't think. Let me put it like this. Do I think? I don't think nobody really want flowers. That's just me. I don't think nobody.
I used to think that, and I found out that women, for whatever reason, really, really like flowers.
They really do like it, and if you ever ask them why, they like it as a gesture. I think it's all programming. That's gonna be shit. That's the running theme today. Now, me personally, I don't mind flowers. Shout out to Cherie. Shout out to. Dog, I was about to give out her government. Shout out to Cherie, Couture by Cherie. She bought me flowers by the studio one day, and I didn't. Do I care? Did I care? I was like,
that's nice. I'm talking about the idea of like, yo, you showing up for a date and a woman handing you flowers.
Yeah, I think like me personally, I don't care. Now, with that don't care. Here's the thing about people that don't care, and you need to figure that out. If you don't never do it, they won't never bring it up to you that they offended that you never did. If my wife has never bought me flowers, by the way. So the only person who's ever got me flowers is Cherie, by the way. And she's done it twice. I would never be like, damn, nobody never got me flowers before. It don't bother me at all. Now, somebody like Mike is telling you he don't like flowers. He don't never need it. Hey, if you want to spend $80 on a bouquet, how about you save $40 more to give me some AirPods, and if you save that $120 a few more times, you can get me the Pro Max.
You can get me the AirPod Pro. Like that's what I want, right? Like yo, like don't. If you want to buy me flowers, don't buy me flowers. Look, I'll take an edible arrangement.
Now them shits go off.
Yeah,
ladies, scrap that.
Flower. But here's the thing though, they could do edible arrangements right now, and they don't want to. You know why? It's the spirit of Cain. They want to do what they want to do.
Yeah, now I do. Now here's the thing. Now I'm gonna give Mike this. Mike asked me a question I did not answer, and I got to do better at that because Mike loved to mention it later in group chats that I can't bring up here. You didn't answer my question. Do I think the majority of men want flowers? I do not. I don't think the majority of men do want flowers. I don't know why. As men, we never sit around and be like, bro, why we don't want flowers? Or why do you want flowers? Men just don't give a fuck. Now, I do believe that women do have an agenda when they are giving you flowers. I'm not here to say what that is. I don't believe, like Mike said, I don't think it is to emasculate you either. I do think it is kind of that Cain thing. I know Mike said it's a joke.
Yeah.
But it is
it's the spirit of Cain.
I'm going against the grain.
I'm gonna do what I want to do here versus doing what I need. And I guess that's one of the things that bothers me because it's like, yo, like you could have, you could have got me chocolate covered strawberries and I would have been happy.
Them shits go off too.
Like,
there's better options. You can get the edible arrangement that's shaped like a bouquet of flowers.
Yes, like, and we kill that. Like
I'm gonna call you on the phone, smack
why
you like,
y'all doing this, man?
Yeah, that is true, ladies. Swap out the flowers right now. Start getting your man edible
arrangements.
I promise you.
Edible arrangements. Sponsor the pod. We just shouted y'all out. Oh my gosh.
And y'all right beside Big's camera downtown.
Yes.
We will definitely support y'all in any way we can. Before we get out of here, I do want to piss off Mike one time.
Here we go.
Come on, man. I always have a surprise thing in pissing Mike off. I don't know what it is about pissing you off I find funny. Probably because you talk shit back to me. You know, Ed's always ignore me, which isn't fun for me and what I like to do. But getting you every time is great. This is why I believe in victims first until there's proof they lied. I stayed silent on that, suppose recanting. This is not clearing anything. I told them it was this in quotation, I told them it was my fault, I'm trying to grab your phone. This is not an admission of abuse being a lie. This is her words, not mine. Unless she tripped and fell, that caused her injuries and left her in the hospital. She was not saying she was not hit. Withdrawing the charges is not an admission of abuse. That's a lie. She's blaming herself in the injury. This is victim behavior. And don't come on my status trying to debate me or play devil's advocate. I will block your ass. Fun fact, I am a DV survivor myself. Oh, shit. Now I feel bad about what I'm saying. Now, but with that, you know what? That last line wasn't needed for me because your first line told me that. But I'm going to leave that alone. The first line being, I believe the victim until there's proof that they lied. This was actually going to be this is the type of women you need to stay away from. I believe as men, this was actually going to be my dad's tip. I do believe, and me and Mike have said this before, and I'm going to just reiterate it here. Men have to get better at
selection.
It was our episode a couple weeks ago, like vetting women.
Yeah. Can we vet women?
And the woman who had posted this, because I don't know the young lady who posted this, but she's in relation to another woman who I do know. And the woman who posted this, I wrote on that lady's thing, I said, it's funny that we cannot, two people can be in a situation and we can say, yo, don't believe him, but believe her.
Yeah,
and it's dangerous either way.
It is definitely dangerous. Definitely going to tiptoe around this because somebody's a victim, right? Somebody is a victim, right?
And you don't know who.
And that's where I'm going, right? We don't know who the victim is, right? So there is this. Men, we have to vet women better because you do not get the benefit of the doubt. Right?
Facts.
You are guilty until proven innocent. Now, I'm not going to sit here and protect or bang or cap on behalf of Jonathan Majors,
absolutely,
because he just showed us his ass to kids as a man.
Well, and his lawyer, to this woman's point, everything she just said, I actually agree with.
Yeah,
I read the text and said, "Damn, that nigga did that."
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though, right? If someone takes your personal property,
that is assault,
right?
If it's in your hand, it's assault.
So here's the thing: if it's his property and it's his hand, and she takes it and he reaches for it back. There's no video where that would ever look okay.
Facts.
Right? It is his property, his information taken. He was basically strong armed. By somebody else. Right?
It's assaulted. He
was assaulted. And it's like, there's no win for a man in that conversation.
Especially a black man and a white woman.
There's no win in that conversation. So you have to be way more. Again, as men, we got to become thinking men because we got to figure this shit out before it ever happens. Right?
Facts.
It can never happen for us. Right? Like, because even if we're right, we're going to feel wrong for a period of time.
Absolutely.
So, on that, like, for one, that it goes back to what we just said earlier, right? Like, just don't cheat, right? Like, because if you're not doing anything and a woman is that insecure, guess what man, you got to go.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not doing anything, right?
I'm not doing this thing. I'm about to be a part of $1 billion franchise.
Yeah. Like, if you're married to a woman and you're not cheating and she want to go through your phone, bro, you hand your phone to her, you let her go through all that shit, and then when she's done, you know what you tell her? Get your shit and peace out.
You shouldn't be that cold, like Mike said, especially if you're married. You should think. But y'all should go to therapy.
She should go to therapy because he's fine at that point.
Well, I'm saying both of y'all go.
Because you being nice. Yeah. And it's like, no, she needs to go. And it's like, put your foot down. Like, for one, strive to be a righteous man, right? You're going to come up short. Yeah. But if you strive to be a righteous man, the majority of things you're just not going to have to deal with because you've already been compassionate and considerate enough of somebody else to just know that I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to hurt this person. I don't want to mislead this person. I don't want to leave anything out. And then when it happens to you as a righteous man, I'm telling you, one of the first days you realize is like, you know what? I can't deal with this, so I'm just going to walk off from it.
Facts. And the last part of it, when I say learn which women to avoid, I'm talking about the sister who wrote the status. It is something scary to be dating somebody whose mind is so jaded on a subject. And I understand it has something to do with her history, so I'm not blaming her for that. But as a man, is your life worth it? Trying to save everybody.
Yeah, is your life worth it? And, is it your responsibility to be a trauma center?
Absolutely. So,
fuck that.
Look, because when you have untreated trauma that you're going through when you get older, women are not bragging on, let me be a trauma center, let me fix that on him.
No, they're not.
Right? Even though they do it and they kill the men later, cool. You don't have to do that, bruh. And I'm letting you know when somebody says, hey, I only believe victims until you gave me proof that he lied. And when her friend is reposting, it was like, yo, we shouldn't speak on nothing because we don't know what happened. Meaning you don't know if this girl is lying or if Jonathan Majors is lying. And here's the funny thing. We still don't even know Shorty's name. That, to me, is so interesting.
Wild.
That is wild. But we ain't got time for that today. But, yeah, fellas, it's certain women that you have to learn to stay away from. And I had to learn that the hard way in business. I remember a girl, bro, who was trying to work with me so bad, Mike. And in the same week, she posted how a photographer asked her to do a nude shoot on set. She said no, and he said okay. He kept shooting. And she said she ran away from him because she was in a public place, but she didn't want him to hurt her. Her story didn't make sense. Right? It didn't make sense. Sorry, if you don't know why it didn't make sense, you just don't know. In that same week, she went to one of these high like up and coming clubs or whatever, right? And she got in a fight with the owner, who was a woman. And I remember she was in my DMs asking to work, and my wife said, "Stay away from that woman."
Yes.
She said, "Stay away from her right now. You don't answer her calls, you don't text her."
Woo.
Now, let me tell y'all something. Every time a woman has told me to stay away from another woman, she's shooting 100% from the field. I don't care what woman it is. I always believe that woman, and I stay away because every time
women know.
Because every time my horny ass went across the line to go see, I got to see why she told me to stay away from her. So I got caught up. So when my wife said that, I immediately just deleted Shorty's Instagram, everything, because and I know who she is, but I'm like, I will never work with that woman because she was too hot. Now, that was over a year ago. The reason why I'm telling y'all that is because another photographer hit me up. He was like, yo, you remember this chick? Yo, work with her. Bunch of problems with her. And it's something about sometimes you got to learn the women to avoid, bro.
Well, I mean, we have to learn how to vet women properly. Half of our complaints is because we're dating the unsaved Blac Chynas. That's going to be my new thing now.
All right.
The unsaved Blac Chynas. We spend too much time
Laws, you hear this bullshit?
with the unsaved Blac Chynas. And what we need to be spending time with is
Angela Whites.
Is the Angela Whites.
Please look up Angela
Hey,
White.
man, play gospel music right there. I need some gospel music on that.
Oh, my God. Hold on, man. And I'm about to
Oh, you got the victory.
Leave the unsaved Blac Chynas alone and date the Angela Whites.
If you have, hold on. Look, here's the joke. Please date the Angela Whites. Please look her up on Pornhub. She is white. She is great at her job. Shout out to Angela White. She has a library scene which got her banned from a college campus, and it actually caused college campuses to beef up their library security because Angela White has sex like literally in camera. You see kids walking around, and like the campus got identified. She got in trouble for the shit. The shit was wild. But shout out to Angela White, not Blac Chyna. Angela White. Don't ask me how I know about her either. Well, because you know. What you got this weekend? You got any dates?
No, man. I'm trying to think if I'm going to go down to the Black Effect Podcast Network. So if any of y'all listening, if y'all going down there, hit me in the DMs. I might be down there. We're going to have to get some T-shirts and like some.
We do.
Shit, let's see. Do we have, can we
Throw
get
me that shirt?
Can we get it in, can we get like a travel mug in like 2 weeks?
A travel mug? Yeah. Yo, shout out to my boy. This for Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, check it out. Black Dance Club shirt.
That's your camera right there.
That's my camera right here. See, this is why I need a producer.
Look, we are hiring for a producer. We do not have enough money to pay Laws. He costs too much. We are looking for an intern. We give you crazy content. You cannot expose us. You will be signing the NDA.
He's definitely be signing the NDA.
But you ain't got no dates? You ain't taking nobody out?
Nah, man. I was about to lie and say it's kid week. I think I'm kid free this week.
Okay.
So, man, I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling.
I got a wedding this week. I would definitely let y'all know. Shout out to one of our listeners, man. She lost her pops, and she's going through it. I just want to let you know that we praying for you. We want to appreciate you. It was great to see how much of a part of how big of a part your father played in your life. And just to see you go through that, we are here for you. So shout out, much love to Quita, man. She going through it, but much love to her. She is a listener who we shouted her out before. She always showed her podcast love. So big shout out and big love to her. But
definitely prayers up to you.
Yeah.
Sis.
But with that, look, y'all be safe out there. Dads, vet women better. Please. And with that, we're gonna holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.